Hey guys, Nubkeks here and welcome straight into a game. This is from the Heroes of the Storm 2.0 beta and specifically the stuff that I saw over in Paris. And you can see this new skin is going to be the focus of today's video, which is Ordermaster Valla, one of the brand new skins that is coming with the next patch here, which should be out in just a couple of days actually, over here in EU, maybe, a day or so later, time zones, all that sort of stuff, you know how it is. But yeah, this is going to be the last video as well from the Paris event. So we're going to be back to kind of normal content after that. I know there's a lot of new people actually on the channel, so yeah, I mean, don't be going anywhere. There's a whole bunch of new stuff coming out that you can look forward to once Heroes 2.0 does hit those live servers. It'll be this Wednesday once I get my hands on it. I'll do probably like a 100 loot box opening. I'll probably then go through like all the loot I got and show you guys everything, all that sort of stuff. In fact, they're the things that immediately spring to my mind, but if you guys have other ideas, do let me know and I can try to accommodate it and cover that sort of stuff. I'm more than happy to do whatever kind of videos you guys want to see. Obviously we're doing live streams as usual. Also, before I jump into talking about the skin in a little bit more detail, there's one more thing to mention to you guys, which is a new channel that I've actually set up. I've kind of set up about a week now, and slowly putting some videos up on that, so you may want to go check it out. Some of you guys who are very observant or stick around to the very ends of every single one of the videos will probably seen it pop up there or pop up on the channel homepage, which is the Nub Streams channel. Basically, this is a channel kind of by popular demand. Like a lot of people, one of the most frequent questions I get is, well, where can we see all your live stream content? If I can't make the streams, how do I keep up with that and see all of that? Well, by the way, I'm going super. I should really die right here. Yeah, I'm super dead. That was way too greedy. This is a bad time to advertise my live streams after making a mistake like that. Oh well, we'll just roll with it. But yeah, Nub Streams channel. You can find the link in the description below. A description every video these days, or through my channel homepage, whatever. But yeah, that's where I just stick up all the VODs of the live streams that I do. Every single live stream now is going to be going up on there, unedited. But that's. I think that's going to be the difference between like this main channel and then that live streams channel. This channel will be all the edited stuff, on the fancy stuff, and that one will be all the live stream stuff, and I can just throw it up there without having to worry about it being all, fancy and done up and all that sort of stuff. We're going to try string a gank on Cassia here. Obviously a fairly difficult hero for us to kill, but we do pick it off with the help of Genji. Once Cassia starts moving, of course, that 65 armor that she gets from her trade does make it fairly challenging for us to actually pick up the kill and to finish her off. You can see we're going for a fairly standard Q build type Vala in this map. I figured it would work fairly decently. Gives the ability to do, do some of these mercs a little bit easier than the other builds would, and also to, solo and duel people a little bit more when we go on to the tributes and stuff like that. So for example, right there, you can see we can take out this merc camp very, very easily. It's actually one of the things that came up in a previous video. I think the Diablo one of them anyway, but people were wondering whether you could pick up those mercenary tokens that are unique to obviously the Hanamura map. While mounted, and as you can see, you cannot do that. Once you are mounted, you dismount when you channel to pick those up. Kind of like any other channeled objective within the game. Expertly missing a Q there, like a boss. So good, so good. There's pretty much no way we can actually stop this payload. If we try to stop it for any longer, that would undoubtedly result in our untimely enough death. So that's not too ideal. Once again, missing, hitting. Luckily Muradin missed. Once again, missing our Qs. I mean, this was over in Paris, so different keyboard and mouse. Definitely not playing Vala to my best capabilities. But, oh well, that's not why we're here. We're here mostly to see this skin. And I mean, I think it's such an interesting skin. I actually, when I got to interview the developers over in Paris, this is what I was asking. I was very curious about this because looking at this skin, it's really very similar in a lot of ways to Vala's base skin, right? You still have the same cape, he's got the same color scheme. It's very much like a fancier version of it. So I was wondering, like, is this like an upgraded like master skin? Is this a reworked master skin for Vala? Is this a new one? How is this working? Now obviously with what we've since learned about Heroes 2.0, I think the answers have become much clearer. At the time, all the developer could tell me was, I don't actually know, I'm not part of the art team, so I've got no clue whether they're reworking skins or there's, like, I really don't know. But now we know that, well, master skins are changing quite a bit in Heroes 2.0, that they're just going to be really just normal skins, just kind of alternative skins. They're not going to be tied into in some ways skill, in a lot of ways just simply time invested, though there is some correlation between the two to some degree. But yeah, there's going to be other skins. So I think that's where Ordermaster Valla is going to slot in. It's just going to be a brand new skin for Vala that you can buy in Heroes 2.0, just like every other skin. Each color version obviously being its own separate skin. I think there's only, if I remember correctly, there's only like one skin color there. Nice work from Genji, that ability damage that he can put out with his E, securing the kill onto that Cassia once again. We really need him here to finish her off because, like I said, with her physical armor, we can't do anything. But yeah, I think the Ordermaster Valla skin, it's just going to be a brand new skin, completely separate. And you're going to be able to pick it up once, once this patch goes live, which is very exciting. We could have gone a bit more aggressive, I reckon, and finished Genji off for being in range for our multi-shot right there. We're being lenient. That's a euphemism for being terrible. But yeah, I mean, but basically the big features of this skin, you've got this like cool hood with kind of ram kind of horns on it, or dragony type horns. It's definitely like I feel it's very much like this sort of Japanese themed skin to tie in with the Overwatch release, much like the Sakura Oriole skin was, all that sort of stuff. It definitely has that Japanesey sort of samurai type feel in some ways, with the kind of the ornamentation and stuff that's going on with the skin, which I think is really, really awesome. So you got the fancy hood with the face mask. You got these fancier shoulder pads, the pauldrons. I think her boots are a bit fancier from the default skin as well. Maybe some of the stuff around her waist and her hips. And then, of course, the crossbows are pretty pimped out from the default Vala skin. It's looking an awful lot fancier. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely... I actually have to say, I'm not a massive fan of the original Vala Master skin. I think it's just okay, in my opinion. This one is to me much cooler. One thing I'd actually really be interested to know is whether this is based off of any Overwatch, I mean Diablo item sets. Like, is there an armor set in Diablo this is based off of, or is this completely new? You know, if it's completely new, perhaps it could be something that will come to Diablo at some stage. I really got no idea. But yeah, I think it looks pretty cool. As far as I can tell, there is no you know, a changed or altered particle effects. They look to be all the exact same. It really is just kind of like a fairly simple skin in that respect, but I think nonetheless a pretty cool looking one. I think that's pretty much all there is to say about the skin. Let's just focus on the game and on Hanamura here. You can see things are getting a little bit crazy. We try to sidestep the Murd and W just to maintain a little bit more speed as we're going in here. I'm trying to juke around. I think we just missed an ability there once again. But this fight is going well for us nonetheless, as our teammates, in fact Lily picks up a kill. Cassia secures one on the enemy team's Cassia, and that is a couple more kills for us. And, you know, just pushing that level 10 advantage as aggressively as we can. I'm kind of interested to see, again, in this map, in this game in particular, one of the concerns I feel going into Hanamura, which I feel is somewhat indicated in this game, is once you start snowballing, it gets really, really hard for a team to make it come back. Now, looking at our team and looking at their team in terms of composition, I think they do have some pretty good kill pressure if they manage to pull it off. You know, like a Malf combo into a Kerrigan combo, that could work out really, really pretty scary for us. Some Cassia follow-up as well, but just they have not been able to execute that quite yet. And certainly, you know, with the Lily healer that we do have, it'd be very scary. We've got very little. You know, Lily's a slow healer. We've got very little burst healing, or really any burst to speak of, to get us out of, you know, that sort of bursty combo. You know, Kerrigan and Cassia jump in, Genji with his burst as well. Could be kind of scary, but at least for the time being, you know, we had such a massive lead. We're hitting level 12 here before the enemy team is hitting level 10, which is pretty brutal. Very difficult to come back from something like that. Although, as you can see, we do have to kind of contend with the fact that there are 2 enemy payloads active, whereas we only have 1 active right now. So there's definitely a lot of things across the map where we have to go, and, you know, with smart rotations, the enemy team could exploit that a little bit. Cassia kind of driving us off with the blind. We're just trying to focus kind of on wave clear. That's one of my big goals right here is, well, if I can keep this lane pretty pushed up, I'm going to be an awful lot safer. So we're able to sidestep the Kerrigan, and then we're able to burst out our Q combo right there. If we had level 13, I might have even dived them. Without level 10, it was 13 to 9. I probably could dive them there as Vala and 1v2 them because that, you know, that's just a pretty crazy lead here. Kerrigan's in a bit of a rough spot. She does go down. Cassia is probably able to kill us. Ooh, luckily she isn't quite close enough to get the bounce on that orb. But yeah, Kerrigan overstepping, getting a little bit greedy without her heroic right there. And we're able to use the Q build of Vala. That dueling focus build to burn her down. And we've got Siphoning Arrow here at level 13. And yeah, it looks like our stall tactics works out pretty well. The rest of our teammates are able to arrive just in time to stop Cassia delivering the enemy payload. And it looks like we're in a pretty good spot to continue our push here on the map. One thing about the payloads, I think, as you can see, there's this little sort of green, it looks like kind of like a green sort of nuclear missile on our payload on the bottom left-hand side of it. That you can see right there. I'm pretty sure that is like the extra shot. You can see we've got 2 shots stored up. I think that's how it works. It's kind of the extra shot right there. You can see we've been able to go pretty aggressive here. Enemy team's in a relatively tough spot where Genji's damage output is not going to be anywhere near as much as Vala's is, so we can definitely exploit that a little bit. Trying to chase down this Muradin. Genji arrives as well, but Muradin with a dwarf toss over the wall might be able to escape here, but it has pushed the enemy team off of their payload, and we are pushing our double shot payload in, doing some wave clear as we go. Lily's able to keep that push going on. We want to soak this XP, continue this lovely XP advantage that we have generated, and to see some of these nice Ordermaster Valla animations. Why the hell not? Why the hell not? They look pretty cool. They look pretty cool. What do you guys think actually of like the old Master Valla skin? What do you, like, how does that compare to this? I think this one is way cooler, but I'm curious as to what other people think, or if they're fans of the original Master skin. I think it's okay, but it's definitely not one of my favorite Master skins, I have to say. There's like, I love like Master Jaina, Master Sylvanas. I think those ones are really, really cool. Jack, Master Valla, but she's probably my favorite hero overall. My most played hero. Definitely, it's the one I'm using at the moment, but it never fully clicked with me. Never fully clicked with me. Anyway, we're getting a pretty brutal push on up here. Being a little bit scared to dive and tank the fort myself. If someone else had been tanking that fort, we could have dived pretty hard and probably killed the Genji or the Cassia right there. Without our teammates following up though, there's really no way to do that. That was kind of a funky interaction where the Genji dash, our Hungering Arrow bounce, actually followed poor Genji all the way through into his base and did ultimately pick up the kill. We're not going to complain too much, but certainly Genji won't be too happy with that outcome anyway. We take out another fort here to the bottom. I suppose this is technically the keep, which does begin spawning these Sapper minions. I'm not sure if they spawn in this version of the patch, this particular patch we're playing, because this was about a month or so ago in Paris. I'm not sure, but we'll see probably soon enough, hopefully. But either way, it does give us another shot on our next payload, and up 6 core health to 3. This is looking, it's looking pretty solid for us so far. Come on, Nubkeks, take a in the past. I'm on to take a glance, take a gander at that. I've got a little Kinder Egg toy that's clicking. It's one of these fidgety things. It's just great fun. Kinder eggs from Easter. I'll stop. I'm sorry. I'm terrible. I mean, there's not too much to say here. This is pretty stompy. There's not much the enemy team can honestly do at this stage. You know, just in terms of their composition, everything like that. I think that is the Malf who took Mule instead of Cleanse as well, so that removes some of their sort of safety right there. But I mean, just realistically, looking at their composition, I mean, Genji's kind of reliant on kills. Kerrigan is an early game hero. Without that sort of early game pressure that she's got, there's not too much they can do. Well, hang on, you know, they're going to start coming ahead actually if we continue to dive into enemy lines. It's going to be pretty nasty for us. Kind of typical Vala thing here as well. You could probably kill her. Yeah, there we go. Rip. You know, waiting until, with this Q build and with repeating arrow at 7, waiting until the cooldown on that refreshes before we vault, so we get maximum healing out of our siphoning arrow. So you see right there, we're getting pretty low. We wait until our Q cooldown sort of expires. Then we went to, 2 shots from that one. We wait for the Q cooldown to come up, we fire Q, then we vault, then we Q again. And that kind of works out the best. It lets us get the most damage out, it lets us get the most healing out, presuming you got the mana to pull it off. You know, waiting that little bit of extra time kind of in quote-unquote danger range of the enemy team, where you're closer to them, But hanging on to the vault cooldown, I mean, unless they're gonna like lock you down or kill you before you vault, it's actually the safer thing to do because you maximize the amount of healing that you can get for yourself, getting that extra Hungering Arrows worth of your healing. And yeah, it's just, you know, that's just one little tip that I can give you guys in terms of playing Q-Build Vala. So obviously do be cautious in case you will literally die before you can even fire off that second Q. That would definitely be an issue. I was kind of expecting Kerrigan to juke there, fired our Q the wrong way, and that will ensure that she lives. But in the meantime, speaking of things that will live and things that will not, as I click my Kinderberg toy once again, enemy core will not, and it goes down. So there you guys go. That was the final little bit of the sort of preview here, the beta of Heroes 2.0, last little look at it. And yeah, that was Ordermaster Valla. Very cool looking skin. I'm pretty excited about this one. It's probably going to be the one I'm going to use. I'm definitely going to be buying this one with shards if I don't get it in that loot box opening session that I'm planning to do pretty much first thing on Wednesday. So yeah, give the video a thumbs up if you liked it, and do let me know your thoughts on the skins. And remember as well, check out the streaming channel, and yeah, to stay tuned for all the stuff that's coming out later this week on the channel for Heroes 2.0. Guys, thank you for watching. I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.